Okay, students, welcome to the next class. And today I'll be telling you about the RT-PCR process. I'll be telling you or briefing you about the whole procedure we are following in the lab. So today I'll be showing you about the SARS-CoV-2 RT-PCR which we are following in our lab. Last day I told you about the automated RNA extraction. Today I'll be showing you the protocol for RT-PCR. So let's start. So this is the kit which okay. Now this kit contains a primer probe mix. This is nucleus free water which can be used as a negative control. This is the PCR buffer, and this is the positive control which is given here. Okay, now I will shift the positive control to the ice box. So it is very essential to maintain the cooling system overall during the process. Okay, so here I have taken -20 mini cooler box, and this is the 96 well plate where all the 93 samples I have taken. 93 samples will be given with 2 positive controls and 1 negative control. Okay, so first I will mix this by small vortexing and then centrifuge to come up with the all the buffers which are all the primers or buffers which are adhered to the wall of the tube. So I will spin it, short spin it. This is the primer probe and this is the buffer. Balance it. Now I will give a short spin. In this kit, we have the kit insert also, which have all the details, what protocols should be followed, what are the chemicals provided, and how the PCR programming should be done. Okay, so here you can see that we have to prepare. We are taking here 96 wells, so we will be preparing for 100 samples so that there should not be any pipetting error. Now, from the master mix, you have to give for each reaction, there is the final volume will be 20 microliter. Now consider one sample where you have to give master mix, that is the white tube, 10 microliter, the primer probe mix, that is the amber color bottle you have seen, that is 1 microliter, and the sample RNA 9 microliter. So total volume will be 20 microliter per well. Okay, so per sample it is 20. So now we have to calculate it for 100 samples so that there should not be any pipetting error. I will keep it in little bit cooler conditions. Now you can see here the primer probe mix has been given for 100 reactions. This is given for 100 reactions. Positive control for 25 runs, 25 times you can give, that is 25 into 9 if you calculate it. And the master mix is also given for 100 reactions. So what I will do, I will directly mix the primer probe mix with the master mix here. So the total solution will be for 93 or samples or the total 96 plates. Okay, I will show you. So here I have kept the primer probe and this is the 2x PCR buffer. Now this is 200 microliter pipette. I am taking this small amount of buffer and mix it with the primer probe mix. So this step should be done in the dark. That's why I am switching off the light, because there are quenchers and the fluorochrome parts which should not be exposed to the light other than the machine. So I mixed properly small amount of the buffer with the primer probe mix. Now I will transfer the whole amount to the buffer. Means the primer probe mix, all of it is now inside the buffer. So I will mix it properly with pipetting as well as vortexing, so that it should be a very homogeneous solution, including the primer as well as the buffer. So I vortexed it properly. Now I have to give it to all the wells. Now I have to give it to all the wells. So what is the amount which should be transferred? As I mix the primer probe mix with the master mix that is supplied with the in the company. So total 10 plus 1, 11 microliter for each sample. So 11 microliter will be transferred for all the samples here. Okay, including the positive and negative controls. I have already prepared the master mix, mixing both these reagents. So let's transfer the amount at a 11 microliter volume to all the wells. So I will not show you all the wells, I will just show you few of the wells how it can be transferred. So this is my master mix with primer probe and the PCR buffer. So this is 11 microliter and I am transferring to all the wells. There is no need to change the tip as the solution is same for all the wells. So likewise I will give it to all the wells. So let me complete this part, then I will go for the PCR programming and the analysis part. So I have completed the master mix distribution to all the wells equivalently 11 microliter to all the wells. Okay. Now this is the RNA. I have showed you in my last automated RNA extraction class that this contains 93 samples here. Up to here 93 samples are there. Individual samples will be transferred to individual wells in an amount of 9 microliter per well. Okay, 11 already given, 9 RNA will be inoculated there. So total volume will be 20 microliter for our PCR reaction. So let's start. I'll show you few of the wells. I have to change the tip every time because all the samples are different here from different patients. So you should change the tips, and the tips should not be touched anywhere else other than the well. So likewise I will give all the RNAs to these wells. So I have mixed the RNA as well as the PCR buffer. So each well contains 20 microliter now, including positive and negative controls. So after mixing all the things, you have to seal the plate with plate sealers. Okay, this has been provided with the kit company sometimes, or otherwise you have to buy it. So after sealing, it will be transferred to our Biorad machine because the PCR will be run in this machine. So before running the RT-PCR, you have to set the protocol. Okay. So one more thing I would like to say that in this kit we will be detecting 4 genes: E gene, RDRP gene, N gene, and RNSP. Okay, so RNSP is the human RNSP gene, which is present or which is acting as the internal control for all the samples. So whether the sample has been collected properly or not, it will be determined by this gene only. Because if you are collecting the sample properly, if human cells are there, RNSP will be present. It has to be present there. Okay. So these three genes are the markers for SARS-CoV-2. E, you know, that is the SARS-CoV-2 family gene, whereas the RDRP and N gene is the specific to SARS-CoV-2. Now, for these individual genes, there are separate detector dyes or separate wavelength of light will be emitted with particular genes, so that you can understand that which genes are present there and what is the CT value, that is the cycle threshold for this particular genes. So for E gene, FAM detector will be used. For RDRP, Texas red will be used. For N gene, Sci5 will be used, and for RNSP, hex detector will be used. So here you can see the protocol which is given in the kit insert. Now we have to set this protocol before running the protocol, before running the program. So this is the software Virent CFX DX. Double click on it. Now user defined. You have to go to user defined. Here either you have to save it so that you can select it from here, select existing, or you can directly put it here. So as I have selected already, we have saved it. We are doing regular on a regular basis. So I am selecting the GenStuMe protocol. Open. Okay. Now see that 55 degree 10 minutes, 95 for 3 minutes, 90, and the cycles for 40 cycles will be there for 95 15 seconds and 60 degree 60 seconds. So this is the total protocol which will be used. Total time may take 1 hour 40 minutes, and the sample volume is 20 microliter. Everything is there, everything has been set. Now you have to go to the next part, that is the plate setup. So you have to go to create new. So as I told you, here 4 genes are detected. So you have to select all the wells first. Now what is the sample type? Sample type is unknown. Here you can select the positive controls, as I know that these 2 wells contain the positive control and this is the negative control. So all other wells are unknown samples. We don't know whether they are positive for SARS-CoV-2 or negative. Now you have to select the detectors or the fluorophores which will be used for detecting. So as I told you, FAM for E gene, hex for RNSP, Texas red for RDRP, and Sci5 for N gene. I've selected it. Now each well should be marked with all these fluorophore. Now you can see all the wells are now contain the detectors for individual these 4 genes, where the hex should be present in all the wells except positive and negative controls, and all the other wells, the sample wells, should contain the hex. Then only the test will be considered as valid. Now you have to save it. Okay, do you want to save the changes? Now I'll save it to my folder. I'll give it date. Today's date is 25/08/2021. So this is our plate is plate 1, or you can say lot 1. So I have saved it. Now the protocol is made, plate is ready. Now go to next. So here you have to, here 3 options: view status, open lead, close lead. So you can directly open it from here. Otherwise you can press this button also to open the lead. Now I place this open lead from remote access. So this is the inside of the machine. This is the well block where our plate will be shifted. And this is the lead which will be maintaining the temperature as well as help in the reading for individual wells. So now my plate is there. So I will close the lid. Okay, now it is closed. You have to see that the plate is compatible with the machine. Any plate cannot be run. but compatible plates only will be used with this machine CFX96, and it's the lid should be closed properly. Now everything is okay, and there will be start run will be blinking here. So if you click the start run, it will again ask you to save the program file or the data file. I'll again go to my folder and we'll save to it with the date. Now the program has started and it will take some time. So after finishing the program, after the run is complete, I will tell you about the detail of analysis. Okay, I'll tell you how to analyze the result of this RT-PCR. Okay. So after completion of the PCR run, it will show a window like this. So it will come up with this machine. If you run it on the Bio-Rad CFX96, after completion, a window will open with all the results. Now you have to analyze it. So here, the blue color represents the FAM or E gene. Red one is Texas Red or RDRP. And the purple one is for Sci5 engine, and this green one is HEX or RNSP. So individually I will show you. First go to the positive controls. So here you can see three prominent graphs. This is for Texas Red, this one for FAM or E gene, and this is Sci5. As you know, this is the control, positive control, so there is no HEX. HEX is only present in our sample plate. So for all the samples, there will be HEX gene or the RNSP internal control marker. So let's see what are the CT values. So here Sci5 represents 17.17, FAM 17.90, 18.11. So let's see the kit insert, what it said. So for result interpretation, CT value of 37 should be can be taken, but we are not considering the 37 value. Generally consider 35 up to the cutoff mark as positive. And positive control, how will you know that the positive controls are okay and you can take it? That is, firstly check positive control performance. You can see there is a prominent curve. The positive control should amplify at a CQ range of 18 plus minus 2. So it should come around 18 plus minus 2. It can be 16 to 20. Okay, you can say that. But here you can see the values are quite appropriate and accurate. So our positive control is okay. Now we'll move to the analysis part of for the samples. Now up to here it is all from 1A to 12E. Everything is sample. For 12F is the positive control. Again 12G is also positive control, and H is negative control, which is not showing any type of curves. Okay. So come to the sample. So here you can see, I'll just show one curve over here. Okay, let's see which one is positive. So 1F. So let's understand this curve. This is 1F. 1F is the sample curve, and you can see four curves here. This green one is for the RNSP, if you remember that. The violet or the purple one is the Sci5. This is FAM or E, and this is Texas Red or RDRP. So here you can see the result analysis. Here it is a chart is given. So in your positive sample, all the four genes should come, or for N and Sci5, any one can be present, including or inclusive the E and the hex gene. So either you have to present all the four curves prominently, or sometimes N or Sci5 can be present alternatively, but Texas Red must have to present there apart from N or Sci5, and also the E and RNSP. So E, RNSP and N is positive, E, RNSP, and Texas red is positive. You can calculate, means if you stop this carb, if you suppose one sample is showing these three carb only, so it will be considered as a positive. Okay, but if one sample is showing you only these two curves, this is for E gene and this is for hex, so our sample is okay, RNA is there, but the E gene is positive. So what we can conclude from that, that the sample includes the coronavirus family virus but not the SARS-CoV-2. Okay, so if again this 3 is SARS-CoV-2 positive, if this 4 is present, SARS-CoV-2 positive. So this kind of analysis you have to do, and we can take up to 35 cycles whether it is positive or not. Okay, so now I'll show you a negative sample. So this is a negative sample where you can see the value here. This value is for hex RNSP, so our RNA is there, but no such E gene or RDRP or N gene is present there. So this is a negative sample. Okay, so this is the kind of analysis you have to do, and you have to report the CT values. Okay, so here we are reporting the CT values for RDRP gene. So this one. So for this sample, the CT value is 16.67. CT is the cycle threshold where the fluorescence is detected fast. So if I remove all the carbs, here you can see after 15, it around came 16.67 cycle, the fluorescence started. So that's why the CT value or the cycle threshold for this particular sample or the particular gene is 16.67. So likewise you have to report for other genes. You can individually select the wells, you can individually select the genes, and you can analyze properly. So this is the analysis procedure for specifically genes to me kit. If the kit changes, the parameters will change, the analysis pattern will change, but the carb pattern should be like sigmoid carbs. So we'll consider the sigmoid carb pattern for analysis of positive results as well as negative carbs. Okay, thank you.